Good afternoon, everyone. It's been quite some time since I last uploaded any of my videos. So today I'm here with something really, really different. It has nothing to do with language. It's got nothing to do with teaching techniques or literature or maybe leadership. It's a completely new concept which I'm taking up today. But before we proceed, let me welcome you all to my channel, Eloquent English Enterprise. We are growing slowly but steadily. And thank you all subscribers for believing in me and for following me and for watching these videos so diligently. So let's move on to today's topic. I'll share my screen. And the topic for today is sustainable styling. That is, we all love to dress up. We all love to wear new clothes and we want a good wardrobe for ourselves. But how should we go about it so that we can sustain our environment and we do nothing to harm it at all, maybe in the name of fashion and styling. So here it is, sustainable styling by me today. All right. So we have sustainable styling. Now this is actually, if I have to define it, that this means it's a practice of creating fashion and personal style in a way which is environmentally friendly. It is environment friendly. It's ethically conscious and, of course, socially responsible. I mean, we dress up ourselves, but in the bargain, we should not spoil nature. We should take care of our surroundings and, of course, our environment. So this is all about that. So what are the key principles of sustainable styling? All right. What are the key principles of sustainable styling? Let's see. So the first one is ethical production. That is, when we are producing our raw material, they should be ethically produced. That is, the labor conditions should be fair. I mean, the workers who are working, they should be treated in a humane manner. They should not be subjected to very inhuman kind of conditions. Like, for example, if you go to a mica mine, where mica is mined, you will see that small children are forced to get into caves, and not exactly caves, but underground tunnels to extract mica. That is unfair. So whatever we are producing, it should be produced under fair labor conditions. The second point is we should give fair wages and safe working environment to the people who are producing the raw material for us, and we must respect their rights to work in a congenial kind of condition, in a good condition. So this is ethical production. That is, the people who are producing raw material for us, or maybe for that matter, even the finished product, they should be paid well, they should be kept in a safe environment, and their rights should be respected and sustained. The second important principle is that we should use eco-friendly materials. That is, nothing which is against our environment or is against the ecological environment of our wherever we are staying, the surroundings. It should not be against that. So that is, we should use materials which have a lower environmental impact. That is, try not to use too many of those fabrics which have been produced in the laboratory. Like nylon, etc., are not good. They are synthetic materials. So we should try to use as much of natural fibers which can be reproduced. And of course, the soil should be given a lot of manure before when we grow these kinds of cash crops. We must try to use sustainable fibers which require fewer resources and chemicals to be produced. That is, nylon, etc., should not be used as much as possible. We must try to use maybe jute, flax, cotton, etc., which are naturally available. At the same time, we must not go in for silk, because that is not eco-friendly. A lot of silkworms are killed mercilessly. They are boiled in water, they are killed, and their crime is that they produce a beautiful fiber. So that's not fair at all. So we must use only sustainable fibers which require fewer resources and chemicals to be produced or created. Also, we must keep in mind that there is least of waste which is made. When we make something, there should be minimal waste which is produced. So minimizing waste through practices such as upcycling, recycling, and repurposing of old garments. Now, recycling, we know what it is. Using something, putting it into a machine, and then making something new. Upcycling is whatever is available to us. We may do a bit of cutting and we can redesign something and make something out of it in a better way. Like, for example, if there's a sari, you don't want to wear it as a sari, you can make a skirt out of it with a matching top. So you get a new garment which looks better and there is no waste. Right. So then old garments, like if maybe a garment is giving up, maybe it's got torn from somewhere, then it can be reused to make clothes for smaller children. A smaller size can be reproduced from that. So if we do sustainable styling, it encourages the repairing and reusing of items rather than discarding them. Usually we throw them away, but that's not okay. If it's a natural fiber kind of a garment, it should be reused and not be discarded. It should not be thrown away. Then we should try to reduce waste as much as possible, which I was just discussing. And the principle of upcycling is transforming materials into products of equal or higher quality. I just said, if you have a sari, you don't feel like wearing it again, so you can make it into any garment. It could be a salwar kameez, it could be maybe a palazzo set, it could be a lehenga and choli or something like that. Maybe a frock, maybe a midi. So in this kind of fashion, we revalue what the industry actually considers as textile waste. We can prolong its life through our own creativity, and we can turn them into new designs which may come in for a lot of appreciation. People will not get to know how you've made a certain garment, but you know that it has been reproduced from a garment which has already been used earlier. So in this field of fashion, for example, old or discarded garments can be transformed into new pieces of clothing, accessories, or even works of art. I have seen, torn clothes, bits and pieces which were available. They were plated, like we women, we make our plaits. So thin strips of discarded clothing were plaited, and then they were stitched into maybe mats, maybe door mats, maybe table mats, or some decorative item. So when we do this, when we do upcycling, we use techniques such as cutting, sewing, dyeing, and decorating. We can even add the beads or some sequins. We can add a little bit of glitter. So a new life can be given to materials which have already been used. It's up to you how ingenious you are, how creative you are, and accordingly you can design new garments for yourself or maybe your loved ones. Then we should also follow the rule of slow fashion. So if we embrace the principles of slow fashion, we then will be prioritizing quality over quantity. That is, rather than having too many clothes, you have good clothes of good quality, right? I hope I'm able to convey my ideas to you. So how is this possible? We can involve investing in timeless, durable pieces that transcend seasonal trends and last longer. For example, in India, we have so many typically traditional weaves and designs which are produced in different states of our country. Silks will never go out of fashion, but rather than going in for pure silk, we can go for other kinds of silks also. Not really artificial silk, but yes, there is this tussar silk. There are other kinds of chanderi kind of material. So here, these kinds of garments or these kinds of traditional fabrics are still very much in vogue. You go for Kanjivarams, you can go in for Kantha, You can go in for fulkari. So these are timeless pieces. Over the years, they have not lost their charm because they are so traditional. So they are durable and they transcend seasonal boundaries. And of course, their life is pretty long. They can last much longer because they are durable. And why are they durable? Because they have been produced in good quality, not just quantity. Their quality is very good. Okay. Then we must also now, if we want to have sustainable styling, then we should go in for second hand and vintage shopping. There are lots of shops which indulge in selling old stuff. Now, this old stuff is not something which is, which is torn or which is not wearable or not usable. There are vintage shops, there are second-hand stores which have, pre-loved clothing. They do a little bit of alteration and they sell it like a new garment. So what happens is that the demand for new production or new products is reduced, and also clothes are not, they do not find their way into landfills, wastelands, where garbage is thrown. So if we have this kind of vintage shopping done, there are some online resale platforms as well. So if we make use, a good use of these facilities which are available, then we'll be able to give a longer life, much longer life to our garments, and we'll be able to stop them from going into garbage fields. So let's choose second-hand clothes because that's vintage. It is something which is very, very traditional. And let's do online shopping, which is a kind of a resale. We take it from a platform which is doing resale just to save on our clothing. Then as a consumer, we should be very, very conscious. So if we have to buy things, let us make informed decisions about our purchases. We must consider the environmental and the social impact of the brands and products. If we feel that a particular brand is using sustainable goods, this particular brand is not spoiling our ecological balance, then we should try and support these brands because they prioritize sustainability and transparency. They are not a threat to our environment. They are environment friendly. So we must go in for vegan products and also brands that can be trusted. So you can see some names over here. We have Versace, we have Calvin Klein. So all of these are good brands which can be used because they are eco-friendly and they are not against our ecological balance or our ecology. As individuals, we must go in for capsule wardrobes. Now, this means rather than having a huge wardrobe where you open and things fall on you, you can have a limited number of versatile but high quality pieces which can be mixed and matched. Okay, you have a few tops and you have a few bottoms, you have a few dupattas or maybe stoles. So you mix and match. So your number looks like when you go out, people feel you're wearing something new, but it's a mix and match. So have a limited number of garments which are versatile and of very good quality. So that you can have a smaller wardrobe comparatively. So what will happen is, as a result, you will have a mindful consumption of your garments, the clothes, fabrics, and it will reduce unnecessary shopping. We as women love to go to shop. We may have 10 pieces or maybe more lying in our wardrobe, which we've never worn earlier. Yet, the charm of buying something new, going out and doing shopping, we can't resist. So this should be stopped at all costs because we are only adding to waste material. We are not using things in a sensible manner. Then, if we have things, of course, when we buy, we all have clothes, we have to care for them also. So taking care of these clothes in a sustainable way, like washing with cold water, air drying, and using eco-friendly detergents is of utmost importance. We should not subject them to trauma by putting, even very sensitive kinds of fabrics in our washing machines. We should try to use our hands to wash them. So if we give them proper care, we will be able to extend their lives. And also we will reduce the environmental impact, which may occur if we keep using and we keep wasting material over and over and over again. So as a sustainable stylist, maybe we must take care of these small little suggestions which I have made. When we do sustainable styling, it impacts our environment in a positive manner. How? It reduces pollution, it helps you to conserve your resources, and also lowers the carbon footprint which is associated with fashion production and waste. Okay, so carbon footprint, I'll discuss a little later because that's something which needs to be discussed in detail. I don't want to make this longer, or maybe I'll put it in the comment section. The other benefit of sustainable styling is its social impact. So when we use this kind of styling, we support ethical labor practices and we promote better working conditions for the workers in the fashion industry. We don't use them like, in a very sorry and sad kind of manner. We make use of their talent in the best possible manner, and we pay them. We look after their conditions, their working conditions, and so we make a better team to produce fabrics and garments. The third benefit is economic impact. So when we do sustainable styling, what happens is that we can see the growth of sustainable brands and markets, and this contributes to a more resilient and ethical fashion economy. We are not using fabrics which are harmful to the skin or to the environment. We learn to make use of fabrics. And of course, we have to keep the working conditions of our workers in mind. So when we do this, then what happens is that we have a resilient and ethical fashion industry. So for this, it's mandatory, or it's important that we go in for sustainable styling. Another one is to have personal satisfaction. When I know personally that whatever I'm wearing has not been harmful to anybody or anything, or even the environment, it gives a kind of personal satisfaction. So you get a sense of responsibility and satisfaction that you have made the correct choice. And this is very important for our own living. When we feel that we've done no harm to anyone, not even the environment, it gives you a feel-good kind of feeling. So to end, I can say that sustainable styling, it's a holistic approach to fashion, which considers the environmental, social, and ethical implications of clothing choices. So whatever choice you have, you must have this kind of consolation that whatever you're wearing, it is environmental friendly, it is socially approved, and also it follows certain ethical rules. So if we adopt a sustainable style of fashion, then we as individuals, we can contribute to a more sustainable future. And at the same time, we can maintain a sense of personal style and creativity, because we are reproducing from what is already existing, and we are making use of things or the raw material which are environment friendly. All right. So it is not only good for the society, it is also good for our own personal satisfaction. So thank you so much, dear viewers, for watching this presentation. I hope you liked it, because it was something which is entirely new. But I found this quite interesting, so I thought I'll bring it to you. And before I go, let me tell you, I'm not sitting on the seaside. I'm very much at home. It's this beautiful backdrop, which I like, so I've used it for this particular video. It's matching with my dress as well. So thank you for being here, and I hope you like it. If you do give me a thumbs up. Please share it with people who are like-minded. And if possible, if you're watching it for the first time, do subscribe for my channel. Subscribe to my channel. I also go wrong at times. So it's not subscribe my channel, it is subscribe to my channel. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Sunday tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye till I see you again.